Understanding the dynamics of distance. In life and relationships, it's a common experience. Someone you care about begins to pull away, so you do the only thing that feels right. You give them space. Yet, not long after you've distanced yourself, they suddenly reappear, reaching out, trying to reconnect. Why does this happen? What changes when you give them that distance? Today, we'll explore 7 key reasons why people often come back after you've given them space, using insights from Stoic philosophy to better understand these dynamics. Stoicism teaches us to manage our emotions, understand our desires, and approach life with a rational mind. By applying these principles, we can gain clarity on why distance can have such a profound impact on relationships. This script isn't just about identifying these reasons, but also about understanding the deeper psychological and emotional forces at play. Whether you're currently dealing with someone who's reappeared in your life, or you're just curious about human behavior, this video will shed light on the intricate dance of relationships and the role of distance within them. 1. The value of scarcity. When you pull back and create distance, you introduce the element of scarcity into the relationship. This scarcity, or the sudden lack of your presence, can dramatically alter how someone perceives you. Humans, by nature, tend to undervalue what is readily available and overvalue what is scarce or hard to attain. This psychological principle is deeply rooted in our survival instincts. In the context of a relationship, when you're always available, your value may be taken for granted. But when you pull away, your absence makes them realize what they've lost. Stoicism encourages us to recognize the transient nature of life and relationships. By stepping back, you allow the other person to experience the void your absence creates. This void can be a powerful catalyst for change. They start to miss your presence, your conversations, your support, and the way you made them feel. Suddenly, what they once overlooked becomes something they crave. The more they feel the scarcity of your presence, the more they might want to reach out to fill that gap. Moreover, scarcity doesn't just make you more desirable. It forces them to reevaluate their own feelings. When they realize they might lose you, they start to see the relationship in a new light. They may begin to question their past actions and whether they truly appreciated what they had with you. This reflection can lead to a renewed desire to reconnect and make things right, driven by the fear of losing something valuable. Stoic philosophy teaches us to not be overly attached to external things, including people. By creating distance, you're not only giving them a chance to reassess their feelings, but you're also practicing detachment. You're reminding yourself that you don't need to cling to someone to find value in yourself. Ironically, this very detachment often makes you more attractive, as it shows confidence and self-reliance, qualities that draw people back toward you. 2. Fear of loss and the desire to reconnect. Another powerful reason why they come back after you've given them distance is rooted in the fear of loss. When you withdraw, it forces them to confront the reality that they might lose you for good. This fear of losing something valuable triggers a primal response. An urgent desire to reconnect and regain what they fear is slipping away. Human beings are wired to respond to loss. In many cases, we don't fully appreciate what we have until it's gone, or, at the very least, at risk of being lost. When you create distance, it acts as a wake-up call for the other person. Suddenly, they are faced with the possibility that you might not be there anymore, and this realization can be deeply unsettling. This fear can push them to reach out, apologize, or make amends, all in an effort to re-establish the connection they fear is lost. From a Stoic perspective, this fear of loss is something we should all strive to overcome. Stoicism teaches us to accept the impermanence of life and to not be overly attached to things outside of our control. However, not everyone follows this philosophy. For those who don't, the fear of losing someone important can be overwhelming. It can drive them to act in ways they might not have considered when they felt secure in the relationship. This fear is also tied to their ego. When you pull away, it challenges their perception of themselves and their role in your life. They might start to question why you've distanced yourself and what that says about them. This introspection can lead to a desire to prove that they are still important to you, prompting them to take action to regain your attention and affection. Furthermore, when you give them space, it also gives them time to reflect on their own behavior. They might realize that they took you for granted or that they didn't treat you as well as they should have. This realization, coupled with the fear of losing you, can create a powerful motivation to come back, apologize, and try to rebuild the relationship. Third time for reflection and realization. Distance provides an opportunity for introspection, both for you and the other person. When you're constantly in someone's life, it's easy for them to overlook their own behavior or the dynamics of the relationship. However, when you step back and create distance, it forces them to reflect on their actions, decisions, and feelings. For the person who's been given space, this time of reflection can lead to significant realizations. They might begin to see how their actions affected you, or they may come to understand that they didn't appreciate you as much as they should have. This period of self-reflection can be a powerful catalyst for change, prompting them to reconsider the relationship and their feelings towards you. In the realm of Stoicism, self-reflection is a crucial practice. Stoics believe in regularly examining one's life, actions, and motives to ensure they align with their values and principles. When you give someone space, you inadvertently encourage them to engage in this kind of self-examination. They begin to question what went wrong, what they could have done differently, and whether they truly want to let go of the relationship. This process of reflection often leads to realizations about the value of the relationship. They might start to remember the good times, the support you provided, and the positive impact you had on their life. These realizations can create a strong desire to reconnect, driven by the understanding that they might have lost something truly valuable. Furthermore, this time apart allows them to miss you genuinely. When you're constantly present, it's easy to become part of the background noise of their life. But when you're gone, your absence is felt more acutely. They start to notice the void left behind, which can amplify their feelings of loss and desire to reconnect. In this way, distance not only gives them time to reflect, but also helps them realize the importance of what they had with you. This realization, combined with the fear of losing you, can be a powerful motivator for them to come back and try to rebuild the relationship. Fourth, the allure of the challenge. There's something about a challenge that naturally draws people in. When you give someone distance, you inadvertently become a challenge in their eyes. This challenge, this sense of something slipping away, can be incredibly alluring, prompting them to try and win you back. Human beings are often attracted to what they can't easily have. It's a concept known as the scarcity principle, which we touched on earlier. When something becomes less accessible, its value increases. In relationships, this principle often comes into play when one person begins to pull away. Suddenly, what was once taken for granted becomes something to strive for, something to reclaim. From a Stoic perspective, the allure of the challenge can be seen as a test of one's desires and attachments. Stoicism teaches us to be wary of our desires, particularly those driven by ego and insecurity. When someone sees you as a challenge after you've distanced yourself, it's often their ego responding. They don't want to feel like they've lost something, so they become determined to win you back. This pursuit can be invigorating for them. The challenge becomes a game, a test of their ability to reclaim what they believe is theirs. This can lead to increased efforts on their part, such as more frequent communication, attempts to spend time with you, or even grand gestures to show that they still care. The harder it is to get you back, the more determined they might become. However, it's essential to recognize the difference between genuine interest and the allure of the challenge. Stoicism teaches us to look beyond surface-level desires and to understand the true nature of our motivations. When someone comes back after you've given them distance, it's important to assess whether they're genuinely interested in rekindling the relationship or if they're merely drawn by the challenge of winning you back. In many cases, once the challenge is over and they've succeeded in reconnecting with you, their interest might wane again. This cycle can be exhausting and unfulfilling if it's driven solely by the thrill of the chase rather than a deep, genuine connection. By understanding this dynamic, you can better navigate the situation and decide whether it's worth re-engaging with the person or maintaining the distance you've established. Fifth, restored autonomy and confidence. When you give someone distance, it's not just about them, it's also about you. During this time apart, you have the opportunity to focus on yourself, your growth, and your well-being. This period of self-reflection and personal development can lead to a restored sense of autonomy and confidence, which in turn makes you more attractive to others. One of the most appealing qualities in a person is confidence. When you're always available to someone, it can create an imbalance in the relationship, where one person becomes overly dependent on the other. By stepping back and giving them space, you reclaim your independence. You begin to prioritize your needs, goals, and desires, which naturally boosts your self-esteem and confidence. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of self-reliance and inner strength. By focusing on your own development during this time, you embody these Stoic principles. You become less concerned with external validation and more focused on cultivating your inner resources. This shift in focus not only benefits you, but also changes how others perceive you. When the person who distanced themselves sees this newfound confidence, it can be incredibly attractive. They might begin to see you in a new light, appreciating your independence and self-assurance. This restored autonomy can be a powerful draw, prompting them to want to reconnect and be a part of your life once again. Moreover, this confidence allows you to approach the situation with clarity and strength. You're no longer driven by a need for their approval or attention. Instead, you can assess the situation objectively, deciding whether reconnecting is truly in your best interest. This shift in power dynamics can make you even more appealing, as they see that you're no longer the person they took for granted. In many cases, they might come back not just because they miss you, but because they're intrigued by the person you've become during this time apart. Your growth and self-improvement serve as a reminder of what they've lost, and they might feel compelled to reconnect with this new, stronger version of you. 6. Desire for reconciliation and closure. Distance often creates a desire for reconciliation and closure. When you give someone space, it allows both of you to reflect on the past, process your emotions, and come to terms with what happened. This period of reflection can lead to a strong desire to reconcile and find closure, which is why they might come back after you've distanced yourself. For many people, unresolved issues and lingering emotions can be difficult to live with. When a relationship ends or enters a period of distance without proper closure, it can leave both parties feeling unsettled. This lack of closure can create a sense of unfinished business, prompting them to reach out and try to resolve what's left hanging. From a Stoic perspective, closure is about accepting what is and moving forward with a clear mind. Stoicism teaches us to let go of what we cannot control and to find peace in the present moment. However, not everyone is able to do this easily. For some, The need for reconciliation or closure is a powerful motivator to come back and re-engage with you. This desire might stem from a need to apologize, to explain their actions, or to simply ensure that there are no hard feelings. They might feel guilty about how things ended, or regretful about the way they treated you. This guilt can drive them to seek out reconciliation, hoping to mend the relationship or at least leave things on better terms. Closure can also be about seeking understanding. They might want to know why you pulled away, what went wrong, or how you felt about the situation. This quest for answers can lead them to reach out, hoping to have an honest conversation that will help them make sense of what happened. In some cases, the desire for reconciliation can lead to a renewed connection. The time apart might have given both of you the space you needed to grow and gain perspective. When they come back seeking closure, it can open the door to healing old wounds and possibly rebuilding the relationship on a stronger foundation. However, it's important to approach this with a Stoic mindset. Understand that not all attempts at reconciliation are genuine or healthy. Some people might come back simply to ease their own guilt or to regain control over the situation. It's crucial to assess whether their intentions align with your well-being and whether reconnecting is truly in your best interest. 7. Renewed perspective and emotional growth. Finally, one of the most profound reasons they might come back after you've given them distance is due to a renewed perspective and emotional growth. Time apart allows both of you to grow individually, and sometimes this growth leads to a deeper understanding of the relationship and what it meant to each of you. When you step back and give someone space, it gives them the opportunity to look at the relationship from a distance. This new perspective can be eye-opening. They might start to see things they didn't notice before, both the good and the bad. This clarity can lead to a renewed appreciation for what you had together, as well as an understanding of where things went wrong. Stoic philosophy encourages us to constantly strive for personal growth and self-improvement. During this time apart, both of you have the chance to reflect on your actions, your needs, and your desires. This period of introspection can lead to significant emotional growth, where you both come to understand yourselves better and what you truly want from a relationship. As they reflect on the past, they might realize that they've grown emotionally and are now in a better place to handle the relationship with more maturity and understanding. This growth can be a powerful motivator to come back and try again, this time with a renewed sense of purpose and commitment. For some, this emotional growth leads to the realization that they truly care about you and want to build a deeper, more meaningful connection. They might come back not out of fear or loneliness, but out of a genuine desire to create something lasting and fulfilling. However, it's important to approach this situation with caution. Emotional growth is a positive outcome, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship should be rekindled. It's essential to assess whether their growth aligns with your own and whether reconnecting is truly in your best interest. Stoicism teaches us to value our inner peace above all, and sometimes that means moving on rather than going back. In the end, the distance you created might have been exactly what was needed for both of you to gain perspective and grow. Whether or not this leads to a renewed relationship, the emotional growth that comes from it is a valuable outcome in itself. So there you have it, 7 compelling reasons why they often come back after you've given them distance. Understanding these dynamics can help you navigate your relationships with greater clarity and confidence. Whether it's the value of scarcity, the fear of loss, the allure of the challenge, or the growth that comes from time apart, these reasons offer insight into the complex dance of human connections. If you've experienced any of these situations or have thoughts on the topic, we'd love to hear from you. Please share your stories and insights in the comments section below. Your experiences can offer valuable perspectives to others who are going through similar situations. Don't forget to check the description for additional resources and links related to Stoicism and personal growth. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. Your support helps us continue to create videos that resonate with you and provide valuable information on relationships and personal development. Thank you for watching, and remember, applying Stoic principles to your relationships can help you navigate them with wisdom, patience, and strength. Until next time, take care and stay grounded in your journey toward emotional growth and understanding.